Channel. Today we see the Bobby Fischer versus Boris V game 1972 chess championship. Okay, Bobby Fischer play black and Boris play white. First move is Boris. Let us start. Okay, pawn moves to d4. No, Bobby Fischer. Knight moves to f6. No, Boris. Pawn moves to c4. No, Bobby Fischer. Pawn moves to c6. Now Boris. Knight moves to f3. Now Bobby Fischer. Pawn moves to c5. Now Boris. Pawn moves to d5. Next Bobby Fischer that kills the white pawn moves to d5. Now Boris kills the black pawn moves to d5. Next Bobby Fischer pawn moves to d6. Next Boris cannot move to c3 position. Next Bobby Fischer pawn moves to position g6. Next Boris cannot move to position d2. Bobby Fischer cannot move to bd7 position. Next Boris pawn moves to e4. Next Bobby Fischer bishop moves to g7. Next Boris bishop moves to e2. Bobby Fischer takes castling. Boris takes castling. Next Bobby Fischer rook moves to e8. Next Boris queen moves to c2. Next Bobby Fischer cannot moves to h5. Next Boris kills the knight. Okay, bishop moves to h5. Bobby Fischer kills the bishop. Pawn moves to h5. Next Boris cannot move to c5. Next Bobby Fischer cannot move to e5. Next Boris cannot move to e3. Next Bobby Fischer queen moves to f4. Next Boris bishop moves to d2. Next Bobby Fischer cannot move to g4. Next Boris cannot move to g4. Next Bobby Fischer pawn moves to g4. Okay, kills the knight. Okay. Next Boris bishop moves to f4. Bobby Fischer queen moves to f6. Next Boris supported the bishop. Pawn moves to g3. Next Bobby Fischer bishop moves to d7. Then next Boris pawn moves to a4. Next Bobby Fischer pawn moves to b6. Next Boris rook moves to f11. Next Bobby Fischer pawn moves to a6. Okay. Next Boris rook moves to e2. Next Bobby Fischer pawn moves to d5. Next Boris rook moves to e1. Here double rooks. Okay. Next Bobby Fischer queen moves to a6. Okay. Next Boris pawn moves to b3. Next Bobby Fischer rook moves to e7. Next Boris queen moves to d3. Next Bobby Fischer rook moves to b8. Next Boris takes place the pawn moves to b5. Next Bobby Fischer takes place the white pawn moves to b5. Next Boris pawn moves to b4. Next Bobby Fischer pawn moves to c4. Okay. Next queen moves to d2. Okay. Next Bobby Fischer rook moves to b8. Yet two rooks. Okay. Next Boris rook moves to e3. Next Bobby Fischer pawn moves to h5. Next Boris knight moves to e2. Okay. Next king moves to Bobby Fischer king moves to h7. Next Bobby Fischer knight moves to e3. Next king moves to g8. Next knight moves to 3e2. Okay. Next here Bobby Fischer kills the knight with the help of the bishop. Bishop moves to c3. Next queen kills the bishop. Queen moves to c3. Next elephant kills the pawn. Bobby Fischer takes the position e4. Okay. Next Boris also kills the elephant. Moves to position e4. Next again Bobby Fischer kills the rook. Moves to position e4. Now Boris also the kill rook moves to position e4. Now Bobby Fischer kills the rook, moves to e4. Okay, now both pawns are the equal. Now what? Again, let us see who will win. Okay, now Boris bishop moves to f6. Bobby Fischer queen moves to g6. Next, bishop moves to c1. Boris bishop. Next, Bobby Fischer queen moves to a1. Okay, next, king moves to f1. Next, Bobby Fischer bishop moves to f5. Next, king moves to g2. Next, Bobby Fischer e4. Queen moves to check. Next, here 3. Here c. Queen moves to e3. Okay. Next, Bobby Fischer moves to c. c2. Check. Next, queen moves to d2. White. Next, Bobby Fischer moves to d3. Okay. Next, Boris queen moves to d4. Now check. The bishop moves to okay. Now bishop moves to d3. Check. The game is over. Let us see what happened. Okay, check. Okay. Let us place. Okay. Let us place here. Majority of here. Next move here. Next move here. Checkmate. This is a maximum possibility, I think. Let us see another version. Okay, here. Okay. Let us put here and goes to here and let us here. Okay, check. Okay. Let us see the moves. Checkmate. Here also checkmate. Okay.